Welcome to Dobby Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf. In this video I'll walk you through replacing 5th gear on a 2010 Citroen Berlingo step by step so you can get back into top gear with confidence. Grab your tools and let's get fixing. So we've already got the car jacked up and the passenger side wheel off, and now I'm going to remove the passenger side wheel arch covering, wheel arch trim, whatever you want to call it. Just held in by a few piss pins. I think there's around 6 or 7 of them. And yeah, we just pop out fairly easy, like you just saw me take that one out. There's a couple underneath the front of the car as well, just on the bumper. Again, just wiggle your tool in there and pop them out. So getting that little centre part out first, and then pop it out. And then there's another one on the body of the car here, which we're just going to get out now. And like I said, I'm using this trim tool, really handy for this. You can also use a screwdriver, it's a bit harder. Like I said, I've already got the car jacked up, and I've only just supported the passenger side of the car just to get it up. And just there's another one behind the brake here. Now there's also an ABS sensor that you need to be careful when you remove this cover. This splash guard, I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure what they call it on the Citroen, but once you get that off, it's all removed and you just pull it out. I'm just going to move the camera in a minute, just give you a slightly better angle of it. So yeah, just want to get all the pins out. I'm just going to move the camera around here. And yeah, just pulls out fairly easily. You can get a bit stuck in certain places, so just be wary of that. I just quickly cut because someone started talking to me. And yeah, we just quickly pop that off and it comes out nice and easily. Just watch out for the ABS cable when you pull out. That gives us access to the rear end of the gearbox. Before we crack open that cover, we'll just drain the gearbox fluid out. So it's held in by an 8mm square. These are quite common on French cars. I'm just using a tool here to break it loose. As you break it loose, and I will be replacing the cross washer on here too. But as you can see, we just need to wind it out and let the fluid drain out. So as we do that, it'll come out nice and easily. Yeah, now it started draining, and yeah, it comes out fairly slowly, especially if it's not an overly warm gearbox. This one's warm because it's been driven to me, so not too bad. And obviously it's lost 5th gear, so it kept popping out of 5th gear as it was going along. Wouldn't go into 5th gear by the end of it. You'll see why when we get the gear out itself. You see it coming out fairly nicely. I do recommend wearing gloves, and when you do this, the gear oil really does stink. You see the air is getting out and the oil is coming out fairly quickly now. Just take a little while. I have sped this up so you haven't got to sit through and watch me drain a load of oil out. As you can see, there's a drain pan catching it. We're going to be replacing with fresh gear oil too, so we don't need to worry about that. We're just catching it. If you are going to reuse it, make sure you use a clean drain pan, but I highly recommend replacing it. If your 5th gear is gone, there's going to be metal particles in it, and it's not going to be the most optimal oil for your running your gearbox. It just gets all the bits out of it. Those of you who've seen the short video I did on this will see all the chunks I pulled out of it before. And now here's the gearbox housing, and it's held on by a load of 11mm and a 19mm. Just going to break them all loose now, fairly quickly. The camera did pick up a bit of noise, so you'll probably hear a little pop in the background every time I break one of these 11mm loose. But yeah, fairly easy to get these off. I go around the corner, there's loads of them in different locations. Obviously I like to leave the fuel plug till last. Obviously I've been in here before. If you're doing this job, I highly recommend loosening the fuel plug before you drain the oil out, because otherwise you might not be able to get it open. But luckily I knew from when I inspected this gearbox that I could get it open, so I highly recommend removing the fuel plug first if you're doing this job first without looking inside it before. But I highly recommend having a look inside before you do that. Make sure you get the right gear that you need. There are a couple of different options, and we're going to be replacing the main 5th gear in this, so very straightforward. I'm going to buzz all these rings out by hand. They're not in there very tight. And yeah, there's another one out. The two at the top are the hardest to get to, so you may need to get a little swivel adapter on there, or just go at a certain angle to get it out. But they're mainly because the frame of the vehicle is in the way. Obviously you can drop the gearbox down, but that's a lot more hassle. And not really worth doing when you can get to them just as easily this way. And you see this cover comes off quite easily. Yours may be a bit stiffer because I've already been in it once before and not as sealed up as it would be. Now I'm going to take a screwdriver and I'm going to use that as a punch because I didn't have a punch that was small enough to fit into the pin at the back. There's a pin and a circlip and a 27mm 12-sided fastener holding in. I'm going to use the screwdriver to drive the pin out. You'll see where it is when you're looking in the gearbox. It's fairly straightforward. It comes out fairly easily, especially with a screwdriver. It drives out nice and simply. Now I'm going to remove the clip with two little screwdrivers, as you can see. Just pop it up and you just see me moving it there. To pull out, make sure you don't lose it, you need it to put it back together. And you just easy to put it back as long as you don't damage it. You have to be careful, if you damage it, replace it with a new one. But it goes out quite easily. Nice little E-clip. Now I'm going to use my impact driver to quickly buzz off this nut. And it comes out fairly easily. I'm using my gearlock sockets here. They do a really good job. And now we need to remove the 5th gear selector and housing. So there is a ball bearing just behind the second pin up where I removed the clip from. So you just want to be careful that doesn't fly out. And sometimes the pin can be a bit stiff. You do not want to take the pin, the slide pin I'm just tapping in now, out. You want to leave it in the gearbox. So just give it a gentle tap and it pushes it back. That's this little arrow pointing to where the ball bearing is. You want to be careful of that too, just don't let it slide out. It's easier to get it out than it is when you put it back in. You see I've freed it up now, so we're almost out now. And you're just driving this pin back. Sometimes it comes off really easily, sometimes it gets snagged up. This one was particularly difficult, just making sure that ball bearing doesn't move. The last thing we're going to do is lose that, because it will roll off somewhere, you'll never find it. Just using the punch again just to push it back. Just gentle tap with a hammer, and that is almost off now. And there we are, it should come off nicely now, with a gentle wiggle. Again, just taking your time, you don't want to rush this. That's why I haven't sped this footage up, because I want you to just how careful you need to be, because you don't want to damage anything inside the gearbox and ruin it. But now it's off, we can have a look at the new components, the old components. So here's 5th gear itself. And there's a little selector ring and a few other parts. We're only going to be replacing this part in my hand now. As you can see, all the teeth are worn off. And that's why we're not getting 5th gear anymore. It was just popping out of gear for a while, but the customer kept driving it and eventually lost 5th gear completely. And here's our new 5th gear, as you can see, nice and strong. So we're going to rebuild it, just checking everything for damage. If anything's damaged, I recommend replacing it. But yeah, nice and simple. Just slide that back in the selector housing, pop the little part at the bottom, and then we can line it up and drop it in. And that's it, basically rebuilt. We just got to put it all back together now. It did come with a secondary gear in case you need to replace it, but I didn't need to use this one because the part that replaces was perfectly fine. No damage at all on it, it was just literally the 5th gear teeth had broken off. And we'll make sure everything's spinning properly. There's a little spacer as well that's already on here. You can't really see it very clearly in the video, but there is one there, just make sure that doesn't move. And now we're going to slide it back on. It does take a little bit of wiggling and persuasion should I say. And yeah, it's going nicely. I'm going to get a screwdriver to hold the ball bearing down while I push this back on. So just use the screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver to hold it down. It's fairly straightforward. Just wiggle it on as you go, and there we are, it slides on nicely. You want to make sure your 5th gear goes back into place, so just make sure it all pops back together and it's held in nicely. And just give it a quick spin, make sure everything turns like it should. As you can see, it all does that. So now I'm going to put the nut back on. Again, this is a 27mm. I used a gearlock socket. There'll be a link to all the tools I use in the description down below. Obviously, if you're new here and you found this video helpful, please drop a like and consider subscribing. It really helped me on the channel out. But yeah, we're just going to tighten it down and then use the impact gun to buzz it back on. Get it on there fairly tight. I couldn't find a torque spec for it, I would have torqued it, but it's going to be really quite difficult to torque because it is going to spin. So yeah, just buzz it in and get it nice and tight. There we are, that is back on. So now we're going to quickly pop in the clip in a minute. So you can test everything, make sure it all works as it should before we go any further. Because if it doesn't work, you can take it off and it makes it easier rather than rebuilding the whole thing and finding it doesn't work. Test as you go. You can quickly pop this clip back on. It does slide back in fairly easily, which is quite nice. And yeah, just back on. And now we're going to put the pin back in. If you're lucky like I am, you can squeeze the pin in, it will hold itself in place. And then we can use my punch on the end of a long extension with a 10mm socket to hold the punch and just drive it back in. Again, this is fairly straightforward. It does take a little while to do. This is probably the hardest part, dealing with this pin. Everything else in this job goes fairly smoothly and fairly easily. So yeah, we're just going to quickly tap it back in. And there we are. I'm just trying to show you the pin there, but I can't actually see it. It'll be just there where the pin goes. Now we're going to clean up the outer gearbox case. Just scrape off all the old mastic and all the old sealant. You see, give it a good clean up. I also use a bit of wire brush just to burst everything off. Now we're going to do the same on the gearbox bell housing. So yeah, just get rid of the worst of the stuff, and then I just quickly sped through this. So you can see there's still a bit to clean at the top there. Using a scraper, a wire brush and some brake clean, you can do it quickly. Now we're going to put the new sealant on. Normally I would use black sealant, RTV, but we do have any available. We need stuff to dry quite quickly because the customer needs his car back within like a few hours. So we're using this clear sealant that goes off after about an hour, so we can put the gearbox oil back in. It is rated for gearboxes and the temperatures and everything. Just not what I normally use, but it's what we had to use as we were on hand. Yeah, quite simple really. Just pop it all back on all around the edges, and now we're going to put the gearbox cover back on. And luckily, because the sealant's on there and it's still tacky, it'll hold it fairly nice and securely. Just push it in. Sorry if I knocked the camera there. Yeah, get it all lined up. You may notice some sealant in the holes. Now just put all the holes back in, and all the bolts back in, so say, in the holes. And now we're going to tighten it down. I'm going to do it in a crisscross motion like this, just so it seals down nicely and doesn't pinch one side more than the other. I don't think it really matters on this, but that's what I'm doing because it's what I've always been taught, so that's what I'll do. Just go across from the bolts. Now I'm just going to use my electric ratchet to speed things up. I will clean up all this sealant around the edges once it's fully cured. It's all going nicely and just quite swimmingly in. That's all it really needs. I couldn't find a Torx better for those, but I did find a Torx better for this sump plug, and there's the new sump plug washer. So it's a drain plug washer, so I say. And I'm just going to wipe it off, clean it all up, and just start threading in the fastener. You can also use a socket on this. I believe it's a 22mm, but the 8mm hex definitely works better in my opinion. That's what I had to hand, so that's what I'm using. Just tighten it down and give it a good twist. This is my oil drain fan tool, by the way. I'll put a link to it in the description along with all the other tools I said earlier. But yeah, this is going fairly easily and fairly straightforward. I should mention I haven't put the fill plug back in yet. I'm just going to give it a quick clean down with a bit of brake clean before I torque it down. So that's coming nicely. Just clean all the oil up, all the gearbox oil. It was leaking slightly from where I hadn't sealed the case properly before. Now here comes the 30mm torquing. So it's pretty tight anyway. Now it's securely torqued down. We can move on to putting the cover back in. I did speed past this part, so you do have to watch me put the cover back in. It does go back in fairly easily, just the opposite of how you removed it earlier. And you can see there's the drain plug, fill plug still open. So I'm going to put some gear oil in there now. So I'm going to use some fresh gear oil. And we're using this gear oil here, this Max Plus. I will put a little link to that in the description too. Obviously double check, make sure the right gear oil is for your gearbox. And if you give it a squeeze, it takes about 1.9 litres of gear oil, so with 2 1 litre bottles, and you'll know when it's full. I'll show you in just a second, but yeah, just squeeze it in. So I've got 2 of these little bottles, as I said. I won't show you both going in, but once it's in enough, you see it starts draining out like this, and that's when you know it's full. And you can put your fill plug back in and put a new cross washer on that and torque it down to 25 Nm. So yeah, that is. I'll just quickly torque it down. I won't show you me tightening it down, but I'll just show you the torquing. So I just torque down to 25 Nm. It's nice and secure. And there we go. And now we're back underneath, just checking for leaks. Make sure there's no leaks from the bottom or no leaks from where you sealed it. It's also worth coming back here and checking after you've driven the car as well. So as you can see, I've got the wheel back on now. I'm going to give it a little test drive. If you do have any questions about this particular repair, let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, if you're new, like and subscribe. That would be really helpful. And yeah, now we've just tested it. As you can see, it goes into 5th gear nicely. And that's how you replace the 5th gear on a Citroën Berlingo. And a huge thank you to my Fixing Club members Rodney, Jason, Sebi and Mr. R. Thank you all for support, it really helps me and the channel out. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button, it really helps both the channel and me out. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I post 2 videos a week, so by subscribing you'll never miss a thing. Got any questions or suggestions? Drop a comment down below, and I'll do my best to reply to everyone. Here at Dobby Repairs, we're all about helping you learn how to work on your vehicle safely and showing you don't need to spend a fortune on tools to get the job done. Want to support the channel further? Become a member, starting at just 99p. Members get perks like early access to videos and more exclusive content. Keep fixing, and I'll see you in the next one.